Good evening and welcome to the Guyana TV9 News Bulletin for Friday, November 28, 2025. I'm Adana Doric. In the headlines tonight, ERC reports praises 2025 elections as peaceful, transparent, and free of ethnic tension. Manikchan, marriage is not ownership, women are not chattel. Police crackdown, subordinate officers forced to remove dark tints, accountability now mandatory. Mohammed's extradition case accelerates as court sets dates for key arguments. GPF launches major crackdown on speeding offenders. Warrants and license suspensions loom. And Ghana records sharp rise in HIV cases. Now for the news in depth. The high-profile extradition case involving businessman Nazar Mohammed and his son Azzuddin is now moving into a decisive phase. Prosecutors confirmed on Friday that full disclosure has been completed, clearing the way for constitutional arguments. The Mohammeds, owners of the Mohammeds Enterprise, are on 11-count indictment including money laundering, wire fraud, and mail fraud following sanctions for alleged gold smuggling. They remain free on $150,000 bail each as the case progresses. On Friday, Principal Magistrate Judy Latchman said December 8 for oral submissions from both sides, with a ruling expected when the matter returns on December 10th. Outside the courtroom, prosecutor Terrence Williams said the disclosure process is now complete.
Prosecution disclosed all the evidence in the American request. From the last occasion we were here, which was that Monday, the 24th, I believe. All of that was disclosed. What the defense have asked today to make a certain application for referral of constitutional issues, which they say, I suspect, arise from the request. And they have asked today for an adjournment to get more time to prepare their submissions.
Williams added that the prosecution were ready to begin calling evidence if needed and remains confident in its position.
Well, we were making ourselves ready to call evidence and start if needs be. So we had persons present. Should the matter start, they would give their evidence. Because we always want to be in a position to progress the matter.
With both sides now preparing for a crucial round of constitutional arguments, the extradition proceedings are poised to enter their most consequential stage yet. Adana Dor, Ghana TV9 News. Ghana's 2025 general and regional elections have earned high praise from the Ethnic Relations Commission, which has declared the national polls peaceful, professional, transparent, and free and fair in accordance with national law. The findings were delivered on Thursday as the ERC formally presented its 2025 elections observation report to Khalid Singh at the headquarters of the Ghana Elections Commission in Georgetown. The handover marked the completion of the Commission's observer duties and underscored its role in safeguarding harmonious, inclusive democratic processes. ERC Chairman Sheikh Muina Haq led the delegation, joined by Deputy Chairman Charles Ogle, Commissioners Nia Suban and Chris Sharma, and CEO Govind Kumachu. Also present was GCOM's Chief Elections Officer Vishnu Prasad. During the presentation, Chairman Haq highlighted the Commission's central conclusion.
ERC's Elections Observations Report revealed that the elections were concluded and conducted peacefully, professionally, and in accordance with national law. Voters from all racial and ethnic groups were able to exercise their franchise freely without intimidation, discrimination, or obstruction.
According to the report, while minor issues such as ballot compartment placement and signage visibility were observed, none affected the integrity or professionalism of the process. The ARC noted that 2025 campaign period, though competitive, was far calmer than 2020, with significantly fewer infractions recorded. Election day itself, September 1, was described as orderly, peaceful, and free of tension. Justice Singh welcomed the ARC's finding, emphasizing the strengthened systems that contributed to the improved electoral climate. A major highlight of the report was a dramatic decline in complaints handled by the ARC's investigative unit, just 29 cases in 2025 compared to 124 in 2020. The Commission credited this more stable environment to increase transparency, more efficient election management, and key amendments to the Representation of the People's Act. including public electronic posting of statements of poll and stronger penalties for interference. These measures, the ERC noted, reduce opportunities for misinformation and ethnic tension.
ERC's elections observations report revealed that the elections were concluded and conducted peacefully, professionally, and in accordance with national law. Voters from all racial and ethnic groups were able to exercise their franchise freely without intimidation, discrimination, or obstruction. Although minor inconsistencies were noted regarding the placement of ballot compartments, visibility of signage, and accessibility for persons with disabilities, none of these issues compromise the integrity or inclusiveness of the process. The report also indicates the campaign periods for elections 2025 was highly competitive. However, there were significantly less infractions as compared to the 2020 electoral cycle. It further highlighted that Elections Day 1 September 25 was observed as orderly, calm, and free of tensions, allowing voters to exercise their democratic rights without hindrance. ERC report commended GCOM for effectively administering the electoral procedures in accordance with national and electoral laws. Notably, the report highlighted the marked reduction of cases for the elections period 25 versus 2020. The ERC's investigative unit recorded 29 cases during 2025 elections monitoring period, as compared to 124 cases in 2020, approximately 100 cases less in 2025. This decrease was attributed to several factors, such as increased levels of transparency and efficiency by GCOM. Unlike the prolonged period in 2020, these improvements contributed significantly to a stable environment with fewer opportunities for ethnic tensions or misinformation to escalate.
The ERC expressed gratitude to GCOM, the Guyana Police Force, political parties, observers, partners, and especially the Guyanese electoral for contributing to a peaceful pre- and post-election environment. The Commission reaffirmed its commitment to continued collaboration to ensure future elections remains peaceful, harmonious, and reflective of the will of all Guyanese. Adana Dora, Guyana TV9 News. The Guyana Police Force (GPF) has announced a significant escalation in the enforcement of traffic laws, confirming that it is moving to the courts to issue summons and arrest warrants for motorists who have failed to pay outstanding speeding tickets or appear in court. This aggressive compliance push follows the successful introduction of the automated speed ticket system earlier this year, implemented under the Safe Road Intelligence System (SRIS) project. More from Colwyn Abrams.
Some 93 names of traffic offenders were Friday released by the Guyana Police Force's Traffic Department who have excessive traffic offences. President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali has been briefed on the situation by the Guyana Police Force traffic team and expects widespread charges to commence within the next 48 hours, including the exploration of legal avenues for suspending licenses of persistent offenders, which uses radar speed sensors and high-definition cameras connected to secure cloud-based platforms, have already generated thousands of tickets since its launch. The Guyana Police Force credits the system for achieving a significant reduction in speeding violations across major roadways, highlighting a fully automated nature, ensuring fairness, accuracy, and zero biases in enforcement. Traffic Chief Senior Superintendent Mahendra Singh emphasized that enforcement must complement the technology. He stressed that failure to settle fines promptly will result in legal proceedings, and motorists who ignore these directives risk having their arrest warrant issued, leading to potential further legal penalties. Superintendent Singh urged all motorists to comply, pay their fines, and make the roads safer, reiterating that the system's primary goal is prevention, not punishment. The increased enforcement comes as Ghana grapples with a serious road safety crisis. Between January 1 to June 14, 2025, the country recorded 54 fatal road accidents, a 17% increase over the same period in 2024. Speeding was identified as the leading cause, accounting for 48 of the 54 fatal accidents. Motorists can check for outstanding tickets and make immediate payments via the online portal at www.speed.gpf.gov.gy or through the MMG platform, a convenient way to avoid legal action. The Ghana Police Force's message remains clear: slow down, save lives, and ensure compliance to protect the community. The list of top offenders who will face the court action have been publicly released as part of this aggressive compliance drive. Colin Abrams, Ghana TV9 News.
Minister of Home Affairs Oniche Walrin has slammed the brakes on reckless police driving, targeting heavily tinted private vehicles used by junior officers across Guyana. The directive makes it clear that excessive tints on private cars compromise transparency and accountability. The measure is aimed at stopping the abuse immediately and restoring proper policing standards nationwide. Here is more.
The Deputy Commissioner and Police Commanders have issued a strict circular to enforce the measure. Any officer found in violation will face disciplinary action, ranging from warnings and removal of privileges to demotion or outright termination, depending on past infractions. Serious breaches will not be tolerated, and commanders are tasked with ensuring full compliance within their ranks.
Subordinate police officers. This is not in any way to circumvent the senior ranks who have tint vehicles issued to them in execution of their duties, of their policing duties, legitimate policing duties. This does not this announcement does not address those kinds of vehicles, vehicles that are used by CID ranks and all that.
This directive targets junior or subordinate officers who have excessively tinted private vehicles. Senior officers with state-issued vehicles are exempt, as their tints are justified for operational and security purposes, including CID and other specialized policing duties. Waldron emphasized that this move is about accountability, not restricting legitimate security measures.
Police subordinate ranks who taken their private vehicles and put heavy tint not only around the back windshields and the side, but in the front windshield, which is not permitted at all. Very heavy, dark tint, and using that as an opportunity to drive recklessly on the road.
The crackdown comes after reports that subordinate officers abused the privilege of heavily tinted cars. Many applied dark tints to front and back windshields, violating regulations and using the cover to drive recklessly. The ministry stressed the move is designed to curb misuse, maintain public trust, and ensure police officers act responsibly on the road.
Disciplinary measures in the police force can go from the gamut of removing, depending on the number of disciplinary actions that have already been taken and is in your file. It can end up with them being demoted or even being released from the police force, depending on how many other infractions they have. But serious disciplinary measures will be instituted.
The measure is in effect immediately. Across the country, officers have already begun removing tints from their private vehicles. Videos of compliance are being submitted to authorities, though they will remain private. Waldron's directive sends a clear message. Accountability is non-negotiable, and reckless behavior among subordinate officers will no longer be tolerated. Faith Sandy, Ghana TV9 News.
President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali on Thursday delivered key updates on several high-stake national issues, addressing the Region 10 swearing-in delay, the ongoing terror attack investigation, and the controversial extradition battle surrounding the Mohammeds. Colin Abrams has this report.
President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, speaking on the swearing-in of the Region 10 chairman and vice chairman, stated that the process is still ongoing and that the officials will be sworn in at the appropriate time upon the conclusion of their elections, adhering to the Constitution and relevant governing rules. Addressing the October 26th mobile gas station terror attack, the president reiterated that a full press conference had been held on the matter and emphasized that the individuals involved have been formally charged and are before the court. While awaiting the full legal outcome of the case, President Ali expressed his firm belief that any person who commits a terrorist attack resulting in death in Ghana should be dealt with the most extreme hand of the law, noting that the existing law provides for the death penalty in such cases. The president then tackled questions concerning the extradition proceedings against the Mohammeds. He expressed concern over Azruddin Mohammed's claim that the process could take 5 years or more, calling it a, quote, bold and definitive statement, end of quote, that implies that undue awareness or control over the judicial process.
And I'm sure it's concerning to the judiciary, because he is making a statement that is very bold, as if he is aware of a system that would deliver to him a certain result. And that is concerning for all of us, concerning for the judiciary, I'm sure, and concerning for me as president. So yes, it is of concern that he can be bold enough to make such a statement and be of the belief that he is in control of the judiciary to make such a conclusive statement.
Touching on political matters, the president addressed the delay in selecting a new leader of the opposition. He referred to the legislative branch, stating that the National Assembly operates within its own domain and rules.
The legislature would, within the rules, I'm sure, constitute their meeting at the relevant time to have the leader of the opposition elected. That's in their domain. I think from what I've seen in the news, the speaker is traveling now, so you don't expect the speaker to convene a meeting whilst he's traveling or he's overseas. So I'm sure that the speaker and the National Assembly, the speaker would convene the meeting at the appropriate time and have that process completed.
Finally, President Ali strongly defended the integrity of the recent elections, referencing reports from organizations like the UNDP, which commended the Ghana Elections Commission (GECOM) for managing one of the most efficient and free and fair elections. He dismissed any doubt about the election results and noted that while reports suggest continuous improvements to the electoral system are possible, the government is already undertaking constitutional reform that will address broader necessary changes. Colwyn Abrams, Ghana TV9 News.
More news after the break. Stay tuned.
Channel 9 is now Guide TV9, proudly under new management. We're building stronger with a balanced and open platform for all advertisers. Whether you're promoting a business, service, or event, your message belongs right here. So choose your spot, news, prime time, or anytime, and reach viewers across Guyana. With affordable rates and professional service, Guide TV9 is your partner in progress. So visit us at Lot 21A, Lamahar Street, Georgetown, in the Century 21 building, or call 600-5006 or 761-5006. Guyana TV9. New leadership, fresh outlook, real results.
Celebrate Christmas the Guyanese way with 7 days of magic and adventure. Feel the streets come alive with lights, decor, and carols. Share in the delicious joy of favorites like pepper pot, black cake, and even ginger beer. Then explore Guyana's attractions, the majestic kite show, scenic tour on the Demerara Essequibo, and Mahaika rivers. 7 days, one unforgettable Christmas. Join us. Let's discover Guyana this Christmas.
Want to place your death announcements and in memoriam messages on Channel 9? Call 592-761-5006, 710-5008, 600-5006. Or visit our office at Lot 85A Lamaha Street, Albertown, Georgetown, Century 21 Building.
Guyana, get ready for Sundown 2025, the country's biggest electronic music and arts festival, featuring Danik from the Netherlands, Walshy Fire of Major Lazer, Lip Prince, creator of Reggaetronics, and Helang from New York. An open-air festival packed with massive light shows, art installations, and the main stage by the ocean. December 6th, Marriott Beachfront, Georgetown. Time, 3 p.m. till 2 a.m. Tickets available online at ticketgateway.com, Eventbrite, and Potsalt. For physical ticket locations, visit BPM Guyana on all socials. Sundown 2025. Guyana's EDM movement starts here.
Welcome back. You're watching Guyana TV9 News Bulletin. Local Government and Regional Development Minister Priya Manikchand delivered a powerful reminder that women are not property, sounding a dramatic call to action during Day 4 of the 16 Days of Activism campaign. Speaking passionately, she traced how women were once treated as chattel, objects to be used, controlled, or violated, and declared that those days are long gone. More from Faith Sandy.
Minister Manikchand explained that the Sexual Offences Act firmly recognizes women as human beings with full autonomy over their bodies. She stressed that marital rape is a criminal offense, rejecting the old belief that marriage automatically grants sexual access. She said that long ago, husbands believed they could have sex anywhere, anytime, anyhow. But that is no longer acceptable. Consent must be inherent, explicit, and respected, because a wife is not a chattel and not property.
With the Sex Offences Act, we recognize that women are no longer chattel, that they are human beings entitled to autonomy of their bodies. And so we've made marital rape, an offense.
Reflecting on her earlier years working at Legal Aid, Manikchand recalled women coming in for divorces, domestic violence complaints, and protection orders. They described a spectrum of abuse from physical to emotional. When she asked whether their husbands ever forcefully had sex with them, many quietly admitted yes, but begged her not to record it. Their hesitation revealed how deeply the old belief system still affects victims.
When I was working at Legal Aid, people would come in there for divorces and domestic violence applications and protection orders and so on. And they would tell me about all the different forms of abuse their husbands would engage in. And it would be from physical to emotional to just the usual ones that we know. And then I'd ask, did he ever forcefully have sex with you? And then they look at me and say, yes, also. But I don't want you to put that in.
Manikchand highlighted that many women genuinely believe that once they are married or living with a partner, consent is automatically implied by the relationship. She noted that they often dismiss coercive sex because they think a husband is entitled to it whenever he wants. This mindset, she warned, is both dangerous and wrong and continues to shield sexual violence within homes.
Once you're married, once you're in a relationship, consent flows from that relationship, and so he could have you sexually whenever he wants. I'm here to tell you that's not true. You don't have to put up with sexual violence and sexual abuse in a marriage or a relationship. And those of you who know what I'm talking about, I want you to know that's a form of abuse.
The minister firmly told women that they do not have to accept sexual violence or coercion in marriage or relationships. She reminded them that sexual abuse within the home is domestic abuse and urged those experiencing it to recognize it for what it is. Her message was clear: you're not property, you're not chattel, and no relationship overrides your right to consent. Faith Sandy, Guyana TV9 News.
Guyana has recorded 449 new HIV infections in 2025, prompting Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony to warn that many of these cases were preventable. He urged citizens to get tested, noting that about 10,000 people are currently living with HIV and that all testing and treatment services are fully funded by the government. Stigma remains a major barrier, leading the ministry to introduce self-testing kits and invest nearly $500,000 US in the new viral load machines. The minister also flagged preventable mother-to-child transmission and said Ghana is exploring long-acting injectable PrEP to boost prevention efforts. Dr. Anthony appealed to the public to use the free nationwide services and know their status as Ghana works towards ending HIV transmission by 2030. In a ceremony described as both simple and significant, Regional Democratic Council (RDC) chairpersons and vice chairpersons for 9 of Ghana's administrative regions took the oath of office before President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali at the Arthur Chang Conference Center. The event, attended by cabinet members, formally instituted by the elected officials following the general and regional elections held on September 1. Coleman Abrams reports.
The ceremony underscored Ghana's commitment to decentralized governance, with officials noting that Article 71 of the Constitution mandates local government as a vital aspect of democracy, involving citizens in managing their communities. Pursuant to Chapter 2809 of the Laws of Guyana, the chairperson and vice chairperson were required to take the prescribed oath directly before the president to be legally empowered to begin their duties. One by one, the chairpersons for regions including Rimawini Region 1, Pomeroon Supernam Region 2, Essequibo Islands West Demerara Region 3, and Demerara Mahaica Region 4 stepped forward to swear that they would faithfully execute the office without fear or favor, affection or ill will, according to the best of judgment and ability. End of quote. Notably, the officials for the Upper Demerara Upper Berbice Region, Region 10, are still to be elected by their councillors, and thus were not included in the ceremony. In his address, President Ali asserted that the swearing-in was not merely a ritual, but the reformation of the democratic covenant and a contract between the officials, their constituents, and the state.
Guyana is a nation of vastness, geographically expansive, culturally diverse, economically dynamic, and rapidly transforming. Effective governance in a land such as ours cannot reside in a single center. It must be distributed, decentralized, empowered, and responsive. This is why our constitutional and legal framework provides for governance at multiple levels. Our regional democratic councils constitute the second tier of government, a critical and indispensable link between central administration and local communities. Elected by the people, the RDC...
The president established 2 critical benchmarks for the RDC officials: success, responsiveness, and delivery. He stated citizens are wary of slow responses, and RDCs often the first door citizens knock on must not become the last to open. He urged them to embrace the philosophy of people-centered, unified governance, ensuring one level of service for all of Guyana. He called on the new officials to be proactive, to innovate, and to engage with communities directly and regularly.
Today, let us turn a page on political rivalry and open a new chapter, one of unity of purpose, collaboration, and commitment to the common good. The people of Guyana have given you a mandate to build, not to divide, to deliver, not to stall progress, but to accelerate it. They expect development. They expect leadership. They expect solutions, not excuses. This is why I want to emphasize 2 critical words that will define your success: responsiveness and delivery.
The president reaffirmed his government's commitment to supporting the regional bodies. He also announced that in the coming days, the government will outline initiatives aimed at further empowering community-level workers through improvements to their working conditions and pay. Colwyn Abrams, Ghana TV9 News.
Guyana's Road Safety Month observance intensifies on Friday as the Guyana National Road Safety Council, together with the Ministries of Health and Home Affairs, hosted a comprehensive road safety education and health fair in Georgetown, targeting drivers and frontline traffic officers amid rising concerns over deadly accidents. Faith Sandy has the story.
The outreach offered a wide range of health and vision screenings for minibus drivers, police ranks, and members of the public, including color vision tests, eye pressure checks, muscle coordination assessments, visual field screenings, and general wellness evaluations. Road Safety Council Coordinator Ms. Ramona Durjan said the annual initiative is designed to meet drivers where they are, with both life-saving information and the medical checks many often neglect. She urged motorists to slow down, stressing that road fatalities across Guyana remain unacceptably high.
So we have in the road safety, education, public awareness, and medical fair, where we have been testing for bus drivers, the eyes, police officers, members of the public. And this is something we normally offer every year, where we come out and we meet with bus drivers and we share the message of careful driving save lives. Slow down, it might be your own life is saving.
From the University of Guyana School of Medicine, Dr. Maria Sheena explained that the institution has been conducting continuous medical outreaches since October, focusing on traffic officers, bus drivers, and communities most vulnerable to road accidents. She noted that impaired vision, unmanaged stress, and driver fatigue are still major contributors to collisions. The Ministry of Health, she added, is providing wellness vouchers, lab testing, and referrals for those requiring follow-up care.
One of the things based on research is the fact that there's accidents due to poor vision, for instance, lightings and so on, or maybe there's pain and stress and so on. So that is exactly what we want to avail. We ensure that number one, those traffic officers who work so long, intensely long hours of duties, there are primary targets, knowing that who takes care of them? If they cannot, we have to give them that service.
Optometrist and lecturer Dr. Angina Ling further highlighted the importance of vision screening for those operating vehicles daily. Tests carried out include refraction, color vision checks, eye pressure monitoring, and visual field assessments, critical for detecting glare sensitivity, color recognition issues, and reduce peripheral awareness, all of which can place drivers at a higher risk on the road.
We have the polarized lens, right? So what we did here for the eye screening, not only for refractive error, we do the color vision test because that is very important for the safetyness for the road, especially the driver, right? So they are important. So we don't know that sometimes we neglect the color that we call them the glare in the road, especially in the lights, the color of the traffic lights. So sometimes, and also even the car color. So we are here now to test every screening with not only the refractive, the color, the eye pressure, and also for the dry eye, right? So, and also the muscles coordinations, and also the visual field as well. Because the visual field, because sometimes we have some driver cannot see on the side, like 70-degree on the left or the temporal or the nasal. So it's really important for the road safety.
As Road Safety Month draws to a close, officials say the overarching goal remains the same, ensuring that those who use the nation's roadways are healthy, alert, and capable of keeping themselves and others safe. Faith Sandy, Guyana TV9 News.
In tonight's regional news, St. Vincent and the Grenadines has ushered in a historic political shift, ending more than 25 years of Unity Labour Party rule with the election of new Democratic Party leader Godwin Friday as Prime Minister. Friday's victory signals the beginning of a new era as voters across the islands embrace his promises of economic relief, expanded social support, and greater opportunities for families and youths. The result reflects a broad desire for fresh ideas after decades under Ralph Gonzalez, one of the Caribbean's longest-serving leaders, whose tenure marked by major infrastructure projects and social programs, ultimately faced growing concerns about stagnation, unemployment, rising living costs, and limited prospects for young Vicentians. With Friday now set to become the nation's seventh prime minister since independence, optimism is running high from Kingston to the Grenadines. Supporters see his administration as a chance to revitalize the economy, strengthen education and infrastructure, and restore hope for a more prosperous future. And that has brought us to the end of tonight's newscast. Remember to check out our Facebook and YouTube platforms at GOI TV9 for more trending stories. I'm Adana Doric. Good night.